Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This is Nathan. So I was going through YouTube looking at different metal reviewers and this video came up. It was made June 2nd, 2019, so it was a couple months ago. And this is what the description reads. Dear concerned parents of Metalheads, good news! Your kid is not going to hell for listening to heavy music. Is your teenager going through an angsty phase? Is it your teenager going through an angsty phase and blasting death metal and begging you for carelessness? Are you afraid that you're getting into drugs, sneaking out to get wasted at parties? Let me prove you that your thinking about your kid may not exactly be what you run your minds. Alright, let's get into it. And I said at the beginning of the video, or I at least put it as a disclaimer, I am not maligning or demeaning SeptikSiren here. I am trying to create a meaningful discussion. So, if you got a problem with it, or if you're a SeptikSiren fan, or SeptikSiren if you've been here watching this.
Is your kid wearing band shirts with grotesque and blasphemous art on it?
So it's weird. I'm looking at it. She looks like one of my friends. It's really weird. The video is called Dear Unsupportive Rootsly Concerned Parents of Metalheads. Yeah, it kind of comes off as aggressive, kind of.
Is your kid wearing band shirts with grotesque and blasphemous art on it? Does your kid spend hours upon hours practicing the guitar? Is your kid playing that gross heavy metal music too loud in their room? Do you have the constant fear that your kid is snorting coke and planning on shooting up the school? Then you've come to the right place.
First off, it seems like this is all reactionary to things that have been said to her or things that haven't been said to her. Let's play back, shall we? Nope, 2, 4, not 5.
Band shirts with grotesque and blasphemous art on it.
Okay. I'm not in the school system, but I know there are certain iconography they don't want being displayed because they don't want, I don't know. I have nothing against wearing band shirts. If you're gonna walk down wearing that, I'm not gonna say anything. I do have a problem with the satanic symbols on it and what it stands for, but I'm not gonna come in and be like, oh, you can't wear that. Unless if you're one to church and wearing it, I'm like, hey, that's read the room. Go put a hoodie on, do something. I know in some schools it's not something you shouldn't be doing. I know there is an instance where a kid wore a Guns N' Roses and the guns were on it, and it was an issue. It's just with the cultural climate. I don't know. The band shirt thing, I don't have a total issue with. It's just depends on what area where you are. If you're at school, probably don't be wearing graphic things. Don't be wearing naked people on it. It gets a weird message.
Does your kid spend hours upon hours practicing the guitar?
I don't know anyone who doesn't or that has a problem with their kids playing instruments of any kind. It shows the kid's got initiative and wants to do something. That one's weird. That's just like grasping for straws, I feel like.
Is your kid playing that gross heavy metal music too loud in their room?
Now, when I'm home alone, I'd be like, hey, Alexa, or Alexa, if you ever have one in your room and it goes off, I think I just hear mine going off in the other room. But give that, or my own music on my stereo, I'll play it out loud. But if there's people in the house, I'll turn it down because they're trying to work. In my car, I play it as loud as I want. It's where I can hear the bass. It's my car. It's how I like it. It's being respectful of others, really. And I have nothing against death metal. It's not my favorite genre. It is still something I like listening to occasionally.
Do you have the constant fear that your kid is snorting coke and planning on shooting up the school? Then you've come to the right place.
Okay, again, that sounds a little reactionary. If someone listens to metal, I don't think it's immediately gonna, be like, oh, well, they must do coke and drugs and all this. There are other ways you can figure that out. Just by noticing your kids, I don't know, insert symptoms of on coke. But some bands do support the use of drugs and everything in their music videos, so not 100% right, but that one again is a little ham-fisted.
Dear unsupportive / overly religious parents of Metalheads, newsflash: God doesn't actually give a shit what your kid's listening to. Remember?
He does. He wants us to listen to things that are pure and supporting of God. But you're like, Nathan, metal isn't supportive of God. Like, there are plenty of bands that praise God that are metal or give at least praise in situation. Because Bible does say, give a joyful noise to the Lord, and to them that's a joyful noise.
Remember that famous saying from the Bible, so you judge, you shall be judged?
Well, the correct, way it goes is, let me pull it up. Luke 6:37. So it says, we'll read the verse before, verse 36. Be therefore merciful as your Father also is merciful. 37, which is, judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. 30. Give, and it shall be given unto you good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over, shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet withal, it shall be measured to you again. When you read the Bible, you need to read all the context. And what people like to quote is just half that verse. He's like, judge not, and you won't be judged. People won't feel judgmental towards you, because when you always judge people, you give an aura of being judged. Or judging people. If you don't judge, you will be forgiven, being judgable against you. It comes in good measure, and what you give out, it gets returned. So, if you're always judging, you're always gonna get judged, or always feel like you're getting judged. Try not to preach, but that's not what the whole verse means. Some people in church do, because it's not their genre. Some of it's not genre, they don't feel like you should be playing in the church. Little do I know that churches do that. I know there is a church that's a whole metal church. But I think you're just trying to make a point by not fully grasping the verse out.
Sounds like somebody's not being a very good Christian. Let me tell you, I know.
It's kind of oxymoronic when you're saying, dear unsupportive, you're just like parents of metalheads, judging them, but saying you don't want to be judged.
there's a lot of concern that goes behind the metal culture. I mean, no parent wants their kid doing a shitload of drugs, engaging in occult activities, and being a disrespectful loudmouth towards every adult in existence. Most of that is all a stereotype, and you see that more in only cartoons and movies, and the ones doing most of the drugs.
It's not a full stereotype. A lot of stuff you see in cartoons about metalheads, some it's true, some it's not. If you saw me on the street regularly, I can't talk today, regularly, you couldn't tell that I was a metalhead. Now, if I'm in my house, I'll sport some shirts. I'm not put sometimes I'll sport a shirt, but a lot of times it'll be a plain shirt, or I'm at work, my work attire.
Are those big rock stars that have a bunch of wrinkles and are partially dead now. And if you think metal lyrics are bad, man, you should listen to some of the rap kids.
To go back, I'm gonna also say this. Drugs is in every music genre. Well, most music genres. Coke, I feel like it's more associated with rap. I think everyone that does metal does more of the pills. This is you're just popping you on stage. Maybe you do a little more. I don't know. But yes, rock really associates with drugs and alcohol, and that metal does too in a way. Not fully wrong, but it's you gotta have that point where it's drugs are everywhere. Every music genre can support drugs.
Are listening to these days. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you
Agreed,
here.
rap.
If I had a kid, I'd rather have them in.
It's a great rap. Really, it's like, I just pumped this many drugs in my stomach. I just sold this much. Metal, it's about power ballads about storming the gates of Valhalla and breaking the Rainbow Bridge or whatever.
Influence to shred on the guitar and watch horror movies rather than going out doing a shitload of Xanax and getting an STD. You know, despite the very long-term and popular belief, most metalheads actually don't worship Satan, and a lot of us aren't even remotely.
Yeah, that's true. Not all metalheads worship Satan. Some do. Some of it do as a stunt.
Religious at all. Although there are a lot of
Some are influenced by religion, just the stuff that they use in their music. But yeah, not every music genre is religious. Elvis wasn't religious. He just wrote songs that catered to religion. Some bands just do that.
bands that use a lot of profane and satanic imagery. Most of it is just for show. It's a little something called
no, if they're around it, they're probably doing it not as much on stage, but
called shock rock. You'd be surprised how many famous metal musicians are actually religious. For example, Tom Araya, who is the bassist / vocalist for the band Slayer, notorious for writing lyrics on genocide, warfare, satanic worship, and so on, is actually Catholic. So you're probably wondering, how on earth did my...
If you look into the Catholic, they don't fully follow the Bible. They pick what they want. Also, fun fact: the pentagram is actually a Christian symbol, symbolizing the five senses and of the five wounds of Christ. But it was perverted, later by Satanists.
My kid happened to stumble upon such a dark music genre. Because as a teenager, a lot of us are very frustrated and we kind of feel a little outcasted, and metal just happens to be a really great outlet for all of your anger, and a lot of teenagers.
I do get that. Metal is one of the genres you can just put on, get a punch ring, just punch to the beat. And emo, everyone's like, oh, it's sad music. Oh no, it's emotional music, whatever. It just became emo music. Yeah.
Teenagers that get into metal, which even most adult metalheads stumble upon metal when they're around 13, 14. It gives us something to relate to. Metal gives us power, makes us feel stronger, and gives us a...
Yeah, because it feels like a lot of rap lyrics are more downtrodden, but like, hype someone up to a standard you want, but you can't get. Metal's more encouraging. like a fight song. How many movies do you hear more metal and rock songs? You do rap songs. You only hear rap songs when it's like a I don't know, like a gang-related movie or like a military movie.
Sense of self-belonging. Metal thickens your skin, and to be honest, metal's pretty badass. I mean, metal's pretty much been my best friend since circa 2015. Now, I mean, what metalhead doesn't want to be in a band? This one is for all of you unsupportive parents specifically. Do not ever, ever discourage your kid from pursuing their dreams. Instead,
agreed. But if it to them looks like it's self-demeaning, talk to them. Don't try to stop them, like talk to them about it and come to actual agreement. But if they're gonna go, show up to school, maybe see something, get some help.
you should probably help guide them towards getting a job within the music/entertainment industry because,
That is a good point.
let's face it, it is insanely difficult to completely live off gigging with a band.
Yeah, for a genre that's like feels like it's all inclusive and very friendly, it's really hard to get into. I don't
know. There's a huge variety of many college courses and majors.
There is. I had a friend who in high school had some music program to what he wants to do. He has bands actually.
That sort of tie within the music and entertainment industry that your kid could be interested in. Having big dreams is not a joke. At least your kid has some sense of ambition. The higher you set your expectations, the more disappointed you're going to end up. What parent really wants their kid walking around with a shirt with this artwork on it? Oh, big shocker, I know.
I wouldn't walk around.
You can always monitor what kind of band shirts they get, but if it's their money that they're spending, then...
Okay, but they're in the parents' house. So the parents have to say, they can lock them out of the account. They can take your card. So, now if you're on your own, it's whatever you want. It's to your own.
It's kind of their right to wear it. Now, this doesn't mean they're going to wear a dying fetus shirt to church. That's just common sense. It's disrespectful. If you...
There's a little double standard there, where you're like, you don't wear a dying fetus shirt to church. What's the difference of wearing a Cannibal Corpse or Cannibal Corpse shirt to school? It's the same freaking thing.
You really have a problem seeing a shirt on your kid that you don't like, then maybe you should tell them, I don't want to see you wearing it. You can wear that when I'm not around. I just don't want to see it. And if your kid's turning goth or turning punk, don't restrict them to only wearing basic clothes. You're suffocating your kid. Let them feel free to express themselves. It's very good for the developing mind, and it really...
Okay, but you have to have them be like, hey, you need to go in public. Like, putting a picture of your emo phase on your resume isn't going to get you a job. This is not what they're going to look for. They're going to look for someone that's all tatted up. They want to find someone that people are going to be comfortable with. I don't have a problem with people with tattoos. I'm totally fine with tattoos. It's just, there are good people that have issues, or issues with them on their face.
Really builds strong character. You can't change your kid, no matter how hard you try. And it is all a part of growing up, whether being a metalhead is a phase for them or not, but usually they'll stay through metal throughout their life if they really enjoy it. And when it really comes down to it, if your kid is truly happy with the music they listen to and what they wear, then there is absolutely nothing that you should worry about. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more like this.
I want to say go support her. But she does make good points. I'll give her that. There are certain points she makes good points on. But there are certain things in this where it's like, it's either ham-fisted or it's reactionary. She thinks that people think this, and so she's going to say something about it, which is totally fine. But you want to say it in a way that where you want to say it in a way where it's very not where it's biased and not with your own experiences or friends' experiences, where she makes good points about parents stopping from listening in the middle of they're scared. They can be scared. A lot of parents, if you sit them down, you actually talk to them. Luckily, my mom listened to a lot of rock and roll when she was younger, and my uncle did, so I was always influenced by that, and I went a little deep into the hole, and they were totally fine with it. Not all those parents are that way, but just tell them, like, this is genre I like. There's nothing really wrong with it. Go right ahead. There are things that metal supports that I don't have a problem with, but luckily there are a lot of bands that don't support that, and you have this positive alternative. I'm not gonna listen to a band that's gonna support, bloodletting and pentagrams and sacrifices and all that. I want to hope that's for show. I honestly believe they probably do that. I believe some of the stuff that they're singing about, but I should come off a little sooner and be like, I don't want to. Go check out the rest of her content. Her name's SeptikSirens. I'm not gonna put her link in there. You can look her up, but it honestly feels like she's kind of putting on a show of rebelliousness. It's really weird. Like some of her, like she calls herself SeptikSiren, but I think her name's like Kate or something like that. It's something like that, where it's like it's really weird. I don't know. I want to put down in the comments. Put what you think of the video. What you think of what she said. I want to hear it. Maybe you'll see it. And if you are a SeptikSiren fan, please do not put anything rude in the comments. I meant it as a meaningful discussion. Give some points to create the other side of the argument. Because the things were said that are true, some things that are not so true, and some things that are kind of wrong. And I wanted to give a other side to the argument. Not expecting anything out of this. If she's gonna see it, oh well. If not, alright, then not my problem. But thank you for watching. If you are a SeptikSiren fan and had some thoughts on this, put them down in the description. I probably said that before. And if you're a subscriber, tell your friends, get them to subscribe, and I'll see you later. Stay bearded, stay faithful, and rock on.